Hi everybody, welcome to this very special conversation with Lincoln Bain. It's a special one-on-one interview, and it's because 2 hours ago, just over 2 hours ago, he landed here in New Providence after spending 2 days on the island of Abaco. And the reason I arranged this sit down with him is because last week, if you recall, anybody who watched the show last week, if you recall, a businessman by the name of Clint Kemp called in and talked about the dire straits on the island of Abaco and how Abaco is now, depression is setting in and hopelessness is setting in. And when Lincoln told me he was going, I said, Lincoln, well, you have to talk to me when you return. I saw some of his live stuff. I didn't see everything. I saw some of his live stuff. I have questions about that. But I'm so happy to hear that he's back safely, number one. And the things he saw, though, harrowing, totally shocking for him. And shocking for me to hear and to see many of the live videos that he was able to do. We were told that there is not going to be, not even one, there is not going to be even the attempt to reconstruct a shack or a home or whatever it is to create, either reestablish the Haitian villages that were destroyed or maybe even a new Haitian village. Well, guess what, you all? There is a thriving Haitian community in Abaco. Lincoln will tell us exactly where. And get this, they say immigration officers come there frequently and have nothing to say to them. They just come to check up on them to see how they do it. Hey, how y'all doing? Y'all need water and light? You know, that this is just what's happening in Abaco. Furthermore, areas like Treasure Key have not even been looked at. We are going to have this conversation with Lincoln. Lincoln, first of all, I'm so happy that you are back. I know you're tired because you had 2 long days, but I'm happy that you are spending these few moments with us just to talk about what you saw and how shocked you were. Let's just start with when you landed on Abaco. You made your way first to the mini hospital that they have there, and that trailer that's right on the side of the hospital. Mm-hmm. I have some questions. Mm-hmm. How is it that the road leading to the clinic, to the hospital, health center, unless you have an emergency that takes you directly there, how is that not cordoned off? How are police guards or security guards or defense force officers not there to prevent access to such a sacred, that trailer and its contents are still under investigation. Mm-hmm. A lot's happening with that trailer. Mm-hmm. How you were able to go there, lift the lock, and all this stuff?
Yeah, I think that is a travesty, because not because you found someone on the side of the road means Dorian killed them. You know, as a police officer for 10 years, that trailer should be guarded. Person's death should have been investigated. Not because there was a Dorian means that someone couldn't have decided, I want to kill my husband, I want to kill my wife. There's a good chance for me to kill my neighbor, I don't like him anymore. Lick him over the head with something, and you think a 2x4 hit him during a hurricane. That should be secured, and it should be sacred on top of that.
Sacred.
When we went there because Mr. Kai Mills did a video, and it made the media because the government put out an aggressive response to him. I've never heard the government talk, like that. It seems like they're getting offended, that the people trying to go out there and find out information. The words they use in that, I've never seen the government do that. The government always takes the high ground. Mm-hmm. But they basically call him a liar, mm-hmm. And so we went there to see if it was true. Because that's what I think media should do. Certain things were reported in the media recently, and a lot of those things we actually debunked while we were there.
Wow.
When I watch international media, they will say this government person said this or this government person said that, but when we checked, what we found is such and such. Here in the Bahamas, we do what they call press release reporting. That's it. This minister said that, and that's it. They don't check anything. And that's a real problem, because the media is supposed to be the fifth estate. They're supposed to be the other pillar of society, and they don't check. Whatever they told, that's what they print, for the most part. Now, sometimes scandals come out for political reasons, especially, and then they go deeper. Mm-hmm. But anyway, we went there. When we first went there, and this is why I think the government should just apologize and move on, because When we first went there, we didn't smell anything. The wind was probably blowing from us to the trailer in that direction. And the wind was kind of strong. Remember, the weather said that there would be a cold front.
I heard the wind in your video.
Right.
Yeah.
And so the wind was kind of strong, so it was blowing in the other direction. But when that wind turned, first we said, we are verifying what the government said. There's no smell, there's no flies, etc.
I saw you even said you can see the 10 degrees below zero.
Yes.
All of that.
We confirmed everything for the government. We weren't trying to, they're trying to be biased or attack the government. We really wanted to give the truth. And so the government said it was 10 below zero. We pointed out it was 10 below zero. The government said no smell. We said no smell. The government said no flies. We said no flies. All right? They said that was verified by their administrator there. If we had left at that point, like within a minute of being there, we would have been on the side of the government. But when that wind shifted, listen to me, that almost knocked me off my foot. That thing hit me straight in my face, the smell of death. I mean, like death, like old death. I can't describe it. You have to experience that. It was worse than when you pass a dead dog on the side of the road. It was worse than that. That smell literally hit me.
I heard you describe it as,
yeah.
you know, because you were talking.
I tasted it.
Oh gosh, what?
Because I was talking and I smelled it and tasted it. I was like, oh my God.
Lincoln, the travesty of having for 5 months that trailer there, or over 5 months now, that trailer there, with the contents of what we know to be in that trailer. What is the end game? How can you have that sitting on the island? No wonder Clint Camp said there's a depressed feeling on the island. You have in a trailer bodies piled on one another as you described it in that video. How does that even make sense? How is that ethical? What is going on?
Listen, we experienced it. It chased us from there. No security came.
No security came to stop you all?
We didn't even see a member of staff. No one. I didn't see a nurse or doctor.
So anybody could go and tamper with, and perhaps if they could pick the lock or pick the locks, I don't know.
Just one with a bolt cutter and they take that off. If we'd gone there with a bolt cutter, we could have just locked that and, break it and open it. See, Dr. Sands was saying some irresponsible stuff. Oh, the bodies are frozen, so that probably means that you won't smell it because they're frozen. That is nonsense. If you take fish and put it in the deep freeze, won't you still smell fish in the deep freeze? You will. Those bodies were already decomposed, some of them, and you took them. Freezing them won't stop the smell. It just freezes them. It stops them from decaying further. But if you take a dead rat and put it in your deep freeze, when you open it, you can smell dead rat. So it doesn't matter if it was frozen. The next thing is, it says -10 on the thermostat, but that doesn't mean it's -10. You could have your fridge at 20 degrees in your house, your freezer, but you won't know it's not working until you open it and say, oh, this isn't cooling. It could be at that degrees. I don't think they went and actually opened that to check to see if it is cooling. That is the problem. I put my hand on the outside of this thing. I don't feel it cool.
You don't feel that frigid air that would come out that would come out of a -10 degree.
Exactly. You don't feel that. So I don't know if they just didn't go in and check. I don't know if they're afraid to go in and check.
Not go in.
But that could be the problem that Mr. Mills identified. But
did you? Okay, well, okay. You said the government was right with everything in terms of it being -10. Well, there's no security. That is very laxed and slack. It is very irresponsible. It also is quite a risk for there to be, that area should have been cordoned off. You all should have been turned around from the time you all turned through the corner. Or how I put it.
And we announced we was coming publicly. We announced it.
You all tell people you all come in, and still nobody.
Clint announced that on this show the day before, and we were on Facebook Live for hours before that. That wasn't the first place we went. We went around first.
I am sorry. Can you please vacate this property? That was not said. How about the flies? Kai Mills, I think his name is. Mm-hmm. He asserted that there were flies around the
when the smell started, as soon as I smelled the smell, I started seeing flies. I saw one first. It's just like when you have fish in your house and all of a sudden you see the flies coming to your screen or whatever. The flies started coming. It was hard for them to fly in the wind because it was breezy, but they started coming. I saw it, Clint saw it, cameraman saw it. So we both confirmed that there were flies there. So when the smell came, the flies started to swarm.
Where did you all go to? What was the next step, or the next stop, rather, after that?
Well, the first place we went actually was straight through downtown. We came from the airport, went into downtown Marsh Harbor. And the first thing we saw was, it looked like Armageddon. It looked like something from a movie, end of the world movie. Clint said that nothing had changed since they left him and the cameraman.
What do you mean nothing? When you say nothing, break
The
down
buildings, the buildings are still broken down, devastated.
The debris?
Not one store is open, nothing has changed. The debris is not in the road, but they're on the side roads. Like you put a tractor and just move it on the side so you could drive past. But debris is all over the side of the road, and this is documented on our Facebook pages. The debris is still there. The buildings are still shattered. There's no economy going on in downtown. You know, so statements were made by the government that is 80% restored. Nothing is restored downtown.
What is 80% restored?
I don't know what that means. That's freaking everybody out. That's like some voodoo maths. I don't know how you got to the 80%, and nothing is restored in Marsh Harbor. The only thing that is giving life.
So any signs of rebuilding, any signs of homes or businesses, churches?
There are some private people doing stuff slowly. You know, you see patches of people here and there, but in terms of any government effort, we don't see that. Mm-hmm. The next thing that we don't see, but I just want to say this before people misunderstand my statement. Maxwell is a business, like a food store, okay, almost like Solomon's. Mm-hmm. They are open. Okay. They are on an elevated part of downtown in the back, and so they didn't sustain much damage. Only roof damage, they repaired it, and so other businesses started opening little booths in their business, like Commonwealth Bank and other places. But other than that, nothing. Absolutely nothing.
Is power restored?
No. Power is restored in a patchy way. In Marsh Harbor, Maxwell is the only place to seem to have power. As we drove around, everyone told us no power. We went to Dundas Town, Murphytown. Everyone said no power, no water.
Where did y'all eat? Where did y'all eat, stay, what?
Schooner Bay is Clint owns Schooner Bay.
Clint Camp.
Yeah, Clint Camp owns Schooner Bay. Dr. Minnis actually has a house there. And I think while we were coming in, his wife was coming in at the same time. So Patricia came in the same time, so we assumed that she probably was there too. But Schooner Bay is in the south of Abaco, and the south of Abaco didn't sustain anything. So their chefs took care of us. But we drove into those areas. We spoke to people on the streets, and people were totally devastated.
Tell us about
when you look in their eyes,
yes,
you could see people that are hurt. People don't want to talk politics about this. They're not interested in politics. They just want this fix. The government is being defensive, apparently. You know, when you question them and stuff. But people don't care about politics. They just, and this is people hurting.
So the people of Abaco saying, listen, we don't care about the politics. All we're trying to say, help us get back to some normalcy.
Because they're hearing of all this money that is, you know, being donated, etc. But they are complaining, and we have people on video saying this, the money ain't reach Abaco. Materials and stuff are being blocked. Abaco people, we talked to the pastor as we was leaving, and he was like, everything is being blocked, nothing is
When you say blocked,
happening.
what do you mean blocked?
Like it might go to customs or whoever, and if it doesn't go through NEMA, you can't get it, or you can't get exemption out of it. And so we spoke to NGOs, who of course have to be politically correct, but they have persons willing to work. Like one NGO had like 90-something people there sitting around waiting, but they don't have materials because materials aren't flowing through properly. Abaco is crying out for help right now.
Talk about the mindset or the mental state or emotional state of the people. This is what Clint said. He also, when he called into the show, he said, listen, he don't like what he's seeing and what's taking shape.
Everywhere you go, you deal with behemoth. Someone crack a joke somewhere, they greet you with a smile somewhere. Abaco people hurting. You could see it in their eyes. They hurting. They have to be around this devastation every day. These broken down, you know, buildings and dilapidated buildings. They have to live where they have to go tote water every day. You know, and the only reason a lot of them are getting water is because foreign NGOs again set up some salination plants where they're taking the salt water, they set it up right near salt water, and they turn that into regular water that you can actually use. And so it's open to the public and you can go there. all of the locals are saying, thank God for the foreigners, because the government didn't come through. They don't come through and you're not seeing them. One thing I did not see while we were driving, and this was very conspicuous, we did not see a defense force officer. No, not one. No, not one.
Are they still assigned on the island?
Yeah. We did not see one. We did not see police officers on patrol. We just happened to pass a police officer going into Maxwell's shop where he's going to buy something. Alright? And we passed one on the dock because he's going to do something on the dock. But we didn't see police officers patrolling and making sure everything was secure. We didn't see defense force officers doing that.
Is there still a lot of looting or break-ins happening? I know that was a concern.
We don't
early
know
on.
if that's still a problem. But people were in the streets with guns early on, when this first happened, but we didn't see that now. I think the difference is more people are back there now. Mm-hmm. Before, everyone had abandoned. So I think that it's slowed down now, and more of the people who were looting went back to build their own homes and do their own stuff. There was a dispute going on that there was a boat that was about to leave, 2 boats to go to Haiti, and they were saying that it had a bunch of stuff that was stolen. And so they were trying to get the police to come there to inspect it. Some people were complaining that they would call the police and the police ain't coming. I can't verify that, but that was from very prominent sources,
On the very prominent residents on the island.
Yeah.
And so let's just then talk about, and if I'm skipping through areas, you just bring me back,
Mm-hmm.
but let's just talk about, I know the Prime Minister, in fact, he was even pictured kicking down a door saying, we will not allow the rebuilding of anything on the Mud and Pigeon Pea properties. There will be no Haitian shanty towns here. Moving forward, it's going to be obviously some sort of order and structure to Abaco moving forward. Those 2 properties or those 2 areas, the Mud and the Pigeon Peas, how are they?
Remember, I always say on your show that we need to take this thing seriously because we're playing with this. We ain't really serious about this thing. We half-stepping it. Just like I said, we saw it. You went and kicked down the door talking about Mud and Pigeon Pea. The Mud and Pigeon Pea, first and foremost, is in the heart of downtown. I used to say it was across the road from immigration. I didn't realize, because I didn't know Abaco, how much in the heart of downtown that was. That's like having a shanty town in the middle of Frederick Street or Charlotte Street downtown.
Wow.
That's what that is like.
Oh.
It is in the middle of downtown. When Clint Kemp showed me that, I'm like, this is Mud and Pigeon Pea.
Wow.
This downtown. It wasn't hidden behind a bush somewhere or out of the. It was right in the middle of everything. And so when I say we're playing with this, we're playing with this.
Why do you make that statement? Why do you think we're playing with it?
Because people were benefiting from it. And that's what I got from Abaconians. And in fact, Mr. Kemp said the same thing to me. People were benefiting from it. Officials were benefiting from it. And so that's why we had that problem. We got a message from the Director of Immigration today when we called him. And he said, listen, this thing go way back and people were benefiting from it. He said, do your proper investigation, go speak to Edison Key. That's his words to us. He said, go speak to Edison Key. And some other Sweden man who used to be an MP. He said, go talk to them.
I remember him. Dang, what's his name? Robert Sweeting, I believe?
Probably. And he said, go talk to him. He said, this thing ain't just started.
Is there then?
So I just want to I can take it to the next level.
Uh-huh.
The shanty towns
Yes.
that are prominent, like how that was in the middle of downtown, they gone. They level them. They put fence around them. Hallelujah. Good.
So there's
good
no
job.
rebuilding there. Okay.
But the one in Farmwood that is hidden, we went there today.
What do you mean hidden? What is it?
Because
there's another shanty town in
You have
Abaco?
to drive off the road. It ain't far from the main road now, but you have to drive off the road, and it's trees and stuff, and then you will see it. Now you can see the houses and tents from the road if you look good, but it ain't prominent like those other ones. And so this is further north, headed towards the northern area. So it seems like the government is just BSing, because I can't find a better word. That they moved the one that's in your face that you can see, but that other one, they're leaving it there. Why do I say that?
How prominent is that one you saw today?
It's big. It's really big. That is major. I'm trying to think of a subdivision as big as that. Um, that area is like Elizabeth State Pinewood State. Yeah. It's not full with houses like those, with clusters of houses, but it's like big. It's a really big shanty town. And so we went in the back there. We got out, got on foot, walked, talked to these people, and listen, they were glad to talk to us. They were coming to do interviews. They say, come in my house, come look. Let me show you where I went up in the ceiling. They weren't hiding.
Are there new structures there since the storm?
I don't know if they're new, but there are structures there. Because I don't know what was there before and was there now. But there are tents there that obviously wasn't there before. So they're in some people are in some tents, some people are in the homes, but they're there. I mean, they were calling us into their homes. And we interviewed some of them, and some of them were like, immigration comes here all the time. Immigration was just here last week.
What do you mean immigration comes there? Immigration officers go to that shanty town.
Yep, we had more than one of them. Several of them confirmed that for us.
And what is the immigration? What do they do?
They come. They said they took some of them and put them in the took them to the shelters. And that's basically it. I asked and Clint asked, because we did separate interviews. When they came, did they tell you all that the new rule, the new law is that you can't rebuild in shanty towns? They said no. They said government officials come here, they never told us that.
And no lawmaker on the island ever
told them.
Water
is brought there for them. They are provided with water. And so they have the big tanks that they can come and get the water. And when it runs out, they come and bring them more. They said immigration officials know that they're there and they don't bother them. Alright? Illegals might get bothered, but there are some there with work permits and that kind of stuff. Some who paper kind of iffy, they ain't really too sure, they ain't really bother. They said they never told us we can't live here or we can't be that, so they are rebuilding right now. So
they have set their eyes on a new parcel of land, squatting, and that they have now taken ownership of.
And remember, I said this on your show previously, that breaking down the mud and pigeon pea means nothing. That's BS. Because that's not how shantytown doesn't work like that. They don't come and get permission to move there. You telling them you don't have permission to build, what that mean? They never had permission to build there. So now they're just gonna move somewhere else. What you expect them to do? So now they are sheltered by the government in shelters and in shantytown. So now the government is feeding them every day, the illegals. And the rest who don't want to be in there, they're in the shantytown. There and in North Andros. And remember I said to you, the government will not touch them. Everyone is saying, oh, plenty of them went to North Andros and moved there. And now they have shantytown in North Andros. You see the government say anything on moving that yet?
I've not heard anything.
And they will not.
Why?
Because people are benefiting from this. But the shanty towns are there, and we witnessed it today, and it's going to be mud and pigeon pea all over again. If a hurricane comes this year, those houses I saw, man, more people could die. And the government knows. They can't say they don't know. We then went, as we were going further north, we saw this area. I don't remember the area name. As a canal. Heading north, listen to me. 15 boats, like I call them yachts, but I forgot what you call catamaran yachts, just on the side of the road, huge. When I say huge, I'm talking as big as this room. Wide as this room, almost huge, wide, wide, big, and they just destroyed on the side of the road. That's a massive destruction. Like someone picked them up, dumped some upside down. And then we went into Treasure Key, which is like the financial.
Now, Treasure Key is like a very high-end area. I remember going there once, some years ago, and stayed at a very luxurious townhouse condominium type
That's
resort.
Gone.
Oh,
Treasure Key is totally destroyed.
The entire Treasure Key?
Treasure Key is 40 years back in the past. That took 40 years to develop Treasure Key to where it is. That is gone.
And what's happening there in Treasure Key?
I've not seen it in the media.
Anybody living in Treasure Key? What's going on there at all?
I don't see
any cleanup, any rebuilding?
Not really. I mean, we took videos and stuff. The one, two people, we didn't really see any of that. We just saw destroyed houses. Now, a lot of them are second homes. So we will probably away a lot of them. Because there were shopping centers and that kind of stuff. They are totally destroyed. We saw a house that's upside down. The house is upside down.
Oh my gosh.
The devastation in Shenique.
So the work is just, the work has not even started as yet really in Abaco. Just based on what you're describing,
really.
in the
It's
grand
slow.
scheme of it.
It's slow. We didn't see, the first day we saw no BEC workers. The second day as we were going north, we saw a BEC truck that was doing some work. It's going to be on the news tonight. And they said that they were doing poles from the north coming down. Remember, it was reported in the news that Abaco was 100% restored by BEC.
Yeah.
As we were driving up, the first thing we noticed, there were no poles. So our thing was, they have, in order for the north to have power, maybe they have like a separate portable generator or something for BEC to say they have power. But there was, when we got up, we saw the BEC truck and they were putting in poles one at a time. And so the workers said they have to put in the poles, these miles and miles just along the road of poles, and then go and put in the lines, and then power the grid.
Far from finished.
So
I know business owners there and people who are back there. They've been on generators since September.
You asked him how long they're gonna take to finish. He was kind of timid to act. They're government workers. He was kind of timid to answer, but weeks.
Shoot.
Before they finished putting in poles.
The poles, right? Yeah.
All right. So the government will be saying that they are 100% restored. I don't understand why they are saying these things that are clearly not true.
As though you cannot go and verify it.
Because normally the media don't. And that is the problem in this country.
I remember when that statement was issued and released. And you felt good, like, wow, really? Go ahead,
and and I was impressed. That's the first thing we started asking people as we drove through to understand where Freetown. Do you have electricity? And all of them were saying no. No, electricity, no. We didn't even have water, you don't have electricity. And I'm talking about right outside of the airport.
What is the state of the airport?
The airport is immaculate. Love it. Immaculate.
Because it was a new airport basically.
The airport didn't look like Adventure or Hurricane. Now, they are using like regular, instead of using the booths, like when you go to the airport, they have the booths, you go to check-in.
Yeah.
They weren't using them. They were using like tables, like how we're sitting at tables, away from the booths, like more in the middle of the floor. So I don't know if something is broken down with there. But in terms of the structure itself, immaculate. Whoever did it looks good. That's the first time I saw it with my own eyes. Love it. Whatever government built that or administration, good job. Contractor, good job. So I'm impressed with the airport. I think everyone should go there for the next hurricane instead of trying to stay in their homes.
Wow.
Yeah, but the airport is immaculate. I love it. Gotta give whoever credit for that.
Lincoln, what else did you see? What is your takeaway from these 2 days? When Clint Kemp called the show and he described it, do you now say, boy, he didn't describe it sufficiently because...
I told him that Clint Kemp is a very prominent businessman. He doesn't do politics, he isn't into that kind of stuff, but he just wants Abaco to be fixed, he's friends with Dr. Minnis. Dr. Minnis has sat at his table and eaten. Dr. Minnis has a house in his development, so he's not trying to make him look bad, in any way. He's not, all right? But he called because they're actually suffering. They're going through a lot, and he wanted it fixed. When he described Abaco to me when I got there, what he described, in fact, you cannot describe what's happening there.
So you saw people living in houses where the roofs were partially compromised, and they're living in there. So this cold weather, the rain, the winds.
They suffering. Rain? Get better. The first thing when the rain started, Clinton was like, oh my God, now people are gonna get wet. People are living like it's the end of the world. Like it's the end of the world. And you could see the sadness and disappointment on their faces. You could see it. People are hurting. I talked to some people this evening when I got here, when I was talking to you, and they were like, they call the name of a family member who's in that trailer. They call the name of a family member who's in the trailer.
So what is, if, wait a minute, if they could identify a family member in the trailer, then what?
See, the problem now, I don't know what the complication is, so we only gotta assume. And the government is say, oh, you're uninformed and this and that, but they ain't giving us no information, so you only could assume. So they leave us to do this kind of stuff. If they are freezing the bodies, maybe the bodies stick together. Because to identify, if you have bodies piled up on top of each other, you gotta pull them out one by one to get to that body in the middle, to see if that's your brother, your wife. You gotta get to that body. If the bodies stick together because they frozen or something like that, and that's morbid to have to go through all these bodies. There's a trailer piled up on top of each other. So you gotta take them out one by one, and you gotta stand there waiting on them to do that while you're waiting on your family member. You gotta see people who were like mummified, and that's hard to look at. That's hard to think about. And so how are you gonna do that? Who's gonna do that? Which Bahamian gonna play with them rotten bodies like that? Bahamians don't do foolishness. And so herein lies the problem. You see, yeah, people work in the morgue, but that's irregular. They're not. That's regular person there. You fix them up, you put on their makeup, and that's cool. But now you're talking about some people who are rotting for days. And you freeze them, and now they're frozen together. When I put meat in the fridge together, they start to stick, and I got to peel them off each other. These humans we're talking about. How could the government do that? How could that have been seen as a plan? So now, and we were told that an hour after we left, after we did that live remote there, live feed, an email was sent from the Ministry of Education saying that they are going to have a mass burial.
When was this email sent?
An hour after we left there yesterday. That's what we were told. Again, by persons on the inside. That this email was sent that they can have a mass burial. They cannot bury them singly. And so I haven't seen the email yet, but that's information that's being gone.
You said from the Ministry of Education?
Sorry, I don't know why I said Health.
Okay.
Sorry. If I said education, I'm sorry. It's the Ministry of Health. That there was an email sent an hour after we left that they're going to have a mass burial. If that is true, we failed as a nation. We failed. We failed. It is an honor to bury your family properly. It's a Christian honor to bury your family properly. And there are Bahamians in there. People are thinking, oh, they're Haitian. No. There are Bahamians in there. There are Bahamians, your neighbors that you saw them come and pick up. That you said, okay, that's my neighbor Michael over there. Okay, they come collect the body. Cam, in the trailer.
What are your thoughts, Lincoln? What are your thoughts after 2 days? After 2 days of seeing this, smelling it, being around it?
My thoughts are that Abaco needs help. I think that we should shut down, because it's so important, we should shut down everything. It's like, if you got a busy schedule, you got to work, you got to clean up, you got to do everything. But if you get a call saying that your mother had a heart attack and they rush you to the hospital, you could drop everything and go there. Abaco has had a traumatic experience, a heart attack. We should drop everything, the government should drop everything and have all hands on that. What I saw was people who just need help. If they had 50 BEC trucks in there doing the same thing that one truck was doing that we saw.
Oh, it was one truck?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was a team of people.
No. It was actually literally two trucks. One of them was a crane. And the other one is the truck that has the bucket on it. Alright, but they just saying one truck, because that was just one team. It was like 3 or 4 fellas. You can see them on the news tonight. And they were just putting up a pole. And then when they finished, they would put up the next pole. They should have, and I'm told that Freeport Power and Light had 50 trucks that they wanted to bring in to get this thing done.
And why Freeport Power and Light wasn't on the ground in Abaco? Because they were restored within days.
Mm-hmm. I'm told they had 50 trucks ready, and they were refused. That's what I'm told.
Really?
All right. Now, there were some foreigners who came in, and it's like they kept pushing them away. They said that there were foreigners from 8 countries who came in who wanted to help with the restoring the power, and now that they're gone. Why? There's some strange things happening down there.
A lot of questions.
We also got to go and look at the domes, which was another interesting.
How many of you all would be able to fit in the domes that you walked in? Were you able to stand up straight?
The dome is big as a good sized bedroom. Not a low cost home bedroom, but a good sized bedroom. So it's as big as a bedroom. All right. And they're saying that is going to be 2 bedrooms, a common area, and a bathroom. I don't know. The bedroom probably could be big as a bed because I don't know how they could do that. The dorms are already mildewing.
Oh gosh.
We documented that. They're already experiencing mildew.
Didn't they? One report came that when it rained, one of them was leaking or something.
Because they're just stuff that they just put together. So yeah, it might be fiberglass, and fiberglass is good and waterproof, but then it has to connect somewhere. They just put in screws, a bunch of screws in them. Listen, they were a waste of time, man. They cost $25,600 each. For that, they could have given that to 250 people.
Get your roof fixed.
Fix your whole house. The roof will probably cost a few thousand of that, but they can fix your whole house. They could almost build a house. And so that dome thing is absolutely ridiculous. That is a disaster. All right. We got some information about who got the contract and who's behind it. I'll leave that for now to protect Clint. But it's an absolute disaster. That's a disaster. That makes no sense. We should have done something better with the funds. The next thing is, they reported in the media that there were 40 domes that were ready. 10 shells were there.
When you say shells, you mean even the 10 that are erected are not completed?
They empty. It's just a wooden floor that you can see through to the dirt.
What do you mean the wooden floor you can see through the
You
dirt?
could like on a deck, like if you're on a deck and you can see through it.
The deck and so the planks like this.
So it's a wooden floor. Obviously they ain't finished, and then just the plastic with the fiberglass.
Is construction ongoing there? Actively ongoing?
They said that they could do 5 a day, but they only had 10.
No, but also and 10. Lincoln is. Did you all in these 2 days see construction going on the site?
Yeah, we actually filmed some Bahamian fellas, like maybe 4 or 5 fellas were there, and they were putting these stuff together, piece by piece. There's not enough space there for 250 domes, so I don't know where they put in the rest.
Gosh, that's a breeding ground for a lot of things.
And so I don't know what they're gonna do with that. So they've already paid for the 250, but they only have 10, and this should have been done from last year. They were saying these domes already. It's just a bunch of flamming going on. I don't think they expected anyone to actually go there and check this out.
Yeah, but in this social media age, in the age where U.S. media is through and through Abaco and Grand Bahama, what are you doing?
See, the only people who would go would be social media people like Kai Mills, and that's why they responded. I've never seen the government respond to a person on social media. That degrades the government. You're stepping down. You are responding to someone on social media and insulting him? No, man. No, you're the government. You can say what you want, McQueen Elizabeth. She ain't talking back to you.
No.
You're not on her level.
No.
And so maybe they expected that maybe some people might go there, take pictures, whatever, but not that an actual media company would go and that actual legitimate people who maybe would listen to from Nassau would go there. I wouldn't have expected that. But I would advise the government, just be truthful, man. Listen, we ready. Everyone is ready to work with the government. Just be truthful, man. You don't have to make up stuff. Just be truthful. And if you be truthful with us and say, listen, okay, we're sorry we did this or we didn't do that, but this is the biggest storm ever. Let me say, okay, we understand that. But just be truthful, just be real with us. Don't pay for 250 domes and then 10 shells of the dome there.
God, months, 6 months later.
And come on, man. Don't lie about the bodies and what's going on there. What you lying for?
Wow. Do you have plans on going back anytime soon?
Yeah, I definitely want to go back. I think they need as much help as they can get, and I think there's as many Bahamians that can need to go there. The problem is people don't have a place to stay.
Yeah.
I think instead of building those stupid domes for $25,600 each, they should have built temporary wooden houses, etc., that people could go and live in. You know, I saw some of the NGOs. Some of them have 90 people that come in and they housing all them.
Where are they housing them?
They have them in some of them have them in like trailers.
Mm-hmm.
They're 4 persons per trailer, and it's brilliant. And I'm like, you should have spent the money on that. That trailer costs nothing compared to the $1,000 dome.
Wow.
And it makes sense, and they have showers and everything. They have a trailer that's just for showers. They have a trailer that's their office. And then they have trailers that people actually will live in, or are living in. 4 persons to a trailer. That makes more sense, because it's temporary housing.
It's temporary. No, it's temporary.
If it's temporary, you only know 2-bedroom, a common area bathroom. No, it's temporary. They're saying it's going to take them some more months to just finish the ones they're doing now. Also, how is temporary? You will be back to September again when you get that 250 finished. If you only got 10 now.
The 10 will be totally finished in September. That's what it is.
So how are that going to be temporary housing? How?
Lincoln, listen, as we wrap up this live feed, and I thank you very much, because I know you've been on your feet and just all through and through Abaco in the last 2 days, so I know you're tired, and I thank you for just sacrificing this time to just speak with me and my audience. You know, if there's perhaps something you want to wrap up with.
I think, you know, I want Bahamians to come together on this, put politics aside. This is a real natural disaster. This is one of the worst in world history. The foreigners are looking at us as incompetent, right? They're there, and talking to them, they can't believe what they're experiencing. You know, talking to them, the red tape, trying to get permits and that kind of stuff. They can't believe what they're experiencing with this red tape. But this is not a political statement. We need the help, and if our government needs help, we need to help them. Our government just needs to be honest with us, and then we'll know to go down there and help. You can't come and make a statement saying that it's 80% restored, because then guess what will happen? We can stop helping. As far as we can say, oh, I will go straight. They good. And that's what some of the NGOs said. It made it hard for them, because it's hard for them because now when they go to ask international for help, they're going to say, no, the Prime Minister said it's 80% back to normal. No, are you a crook? Why are you still asking for money and the 80% back to normal?
Wow.
And they're telling their people, no, I don't know why the Prime Minister said that, but that's not the case. Who are they going to listen to? This NGO who is here, and who might just be trying to get money off them, or the Prime Minister of the country. That caused a major problem for them. And that statement was why Abaco called and asked us to come down.
Oh, you guys were contacted?
Yes, they contacted us. They contacted us. They also contacted MSNBC. This was before the statement though. And MSNBC was there.
Wow.
And so this is international.
International.
And they interviewed a lady called June, and they took them around and they showed them the truth. And so people can see what's going on. Government, please accept all the help you can get. I don't care if it's the former prime ministers. I don't care who it is. Listen, man, let's fix Abaco.
Let's just fix these islands, Abaco and Grand Bahama. You know, let's just fix them.
I saw hurt and pain and devastation, and we just need to fix it. Let's need to criticize the government. Let's just listen. We need to get our hands on deck. That's it.
Yeah, and
I saw tears, Shenique.
Tears.
Talking to people.
Months later.
People are hurt, yes. When you start getting them to really talk about what they went through, it's traumatic, you know.
Oh, it is. I hope counseling is being made available.
I talked to a pastor today, and he talked about how the tornado ripped off a part of his house. Pastor Cornish. And he had to go into his closet with his wife and his son. That's traumatic.
It is.
People hurting the same about politics. I don't care who is the government.
It is. Guys, listen, thank you all so much for joining this live one-on-one interview with Lincoln Bain. Lincoln is just fresh from, this is why you can see the passion and even the misery on his face still. He's just from Abaco now, basically just 3 hours ago, just from Abaco after spending 2 days there, seeing it all, touching it all, talking to as many people as possible, going in several areas and seeing truly what is happening and what exists right now in Abaco. And of course, we will continue to follow this and bring you the special conversations, one-on-ones, perhaps panel discussions and special interviews as we continue to rebuild and hopefully inspire some sort of hope along the way. Thank you all so much for watching this live feed here on Facebook. Everybody have a great evening and thanks for watching.